Hey, it's me, Puppet DM, and I'm here to tell you all about the sponsors we have here at the Wandering Society. We're sponsored here by Mage Hand Press, makers of a bunch of 5th edition supplements, like the Book of Kobold or their series of new classes. And don't forget, Arcmada, the amazing sci-fi fantasy campaign setting for the world's greatest role-playing game. Be sure to check them out at store.mageandpress.com. Up next, we have Roll20. It's the platform we use here at the Wandering Society to play all of our games. It's easy to use, intuitive, and it now comes with dark mode. Be sure to check them out at roll20.net. We're also sponsored by R. Talsorian Games. R. Talsorian Games make great RPGs, and they've been doing so since the early 90s. Check their books. They've got Cyberpunk Red, which Simon tells me has been played here extensively, Castle Falkenstein, which also has been played here, and The Witcher, which has also been. Okay, we get it! Check them out at your FLGS or online at rtalsoriangames.com. Have you ever wanted to wake up and smell the coffee? Well, now you can with this next sponsor, Found Familiar. Get yourself some damn good coffee at foundfamiliar.com and use the code on the screen to get 15% off. What do you mean I can't drink coffee? What the fuck is felt? And we couldn't end this segment without talking about our good friends at Die Hard Dice. That's right. As a Dice affiliate, we are proud to partner with Die Hard Dice to bring you only the best in shiny click-clacks. Click-clacks? What is... Ow. You can check their ever-growing collection over at dieharddice.com and use the link below to get 15% off. You're putting this all on me? I better get a cut. I've muted the wrong thing. The Beast. We are all afflicted with an inner beast in some capacity. Some fight them all their lives, and others learn to live with them. But for the kindred, these damned souls that walk the night, the beast is more than an insidious voice in the back of their heads. It is a scream. A primal urge to cast off their veneer of humanity and become what they were always meant to be. Monsters, predators, killers. There is no fighting this beast, not for vampires at least. The best one can hope for is to keep it satiated long enough for one to grow bored of immortality and watch the sunrise, or eventually succumb to it. Every decision, every action a kindred takes brings them closer to the beast, whether they know it or not. It's always watching, learning, growing inside the husk where a kindred soul once was. You can placate it, but the moment you fail, the beast wins. The beast always wins. I am Simon at Wandering DM, and I will be your storyteller for tonight. Now, let's continue on our story, shall we? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of our Masquerade, Vampire the Masquerade, and not Masquerade the Vampire, campaign Montreal by Night. I'm Wandering DM. Like I said earlier, I will be your storyteller for tonight, and I am operating on so very little sleep. Before we go back into our tale and all of the issues our kindred have to deal with, let's just introduce our cast for tonight. We'll start with the person in the, let's say, top right of the overlay, and then we're going to go left, beginning with Pope. Hello,
Hey.
Welcome back.
It is good to be back. Hey, everybody, Pope here, Pope Worldblood, where Pope Worldblood Twitch. I lurk in all your streams, both myself and Arthur Porter, using human pronouns. And something bad's going to happen. We do not know the degree. We do not know how public it will be. But cover-ups aren't as easy as they used to be. Modern age has a number of unique difficulties, and we're going to interact with those difficulties this evening. Strap in, folks. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Speaking of ride, oh my god, I'm doing segues like Lindy. Deirdre, you're next.
That is fair. I do have the best ride in this game. It has been confirmed. You haven't seen it yet, but my ride is the best. Hey y'all, I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. I get to play Florica Flori Winters, and she is our Ravnos, and she is here to do a murder, and she is not the problem child. I want you all to remember those 3 facts. She is the Ravnos, she's here to do the murder, and she's not the one who's going to cause a problem.
Speaking of murder and problems, someone who hasn't had a problem yet, nor committed a murder, but Trooper. And I meant the character, not the person. You're muted. But it seemed like an impassioned defense.
No, it wasn't. I was just noting that I personally may have already committed the murders, but my character has not. I'm Trooper SJP, and I am playing Lucky, who is a Bruja, and is really very pleasant and has a lovely time, helps little old ladies across the street. And today is most likely today is going to do something that will either cause a stain, a loss of a merit, a breach of the Masquerade. Something very, very bad is going to happen. How bad, we don't know, but it will happen. And most likely murdering like fish in a barrel, most likely. Something like not murdering like somebody coming at you like an Inquisition that you can say like, oh no, the Inquisition came after me. Like probably like an 18-year-old soccer player. You know what I mean? Like who's just hanging out playing a video game, most likely murdered in a terrible, terrible way that involves a lot of blood. So that's what I'm about to do. I mean, who knows? I may fail to murder the person, and then they'll run away into the street in front of like reporters. I don't know. We'll find out. Like one way or the other. It'll be exciting.
So speaking of exciting, I know we skipped a week, so to just get everyone refreshed. Basically, the nascent vampire community, the nascent kindred community in Montreal, 2 years after the fall of the Sabbat, is already facing a potentially, community-ending problem, as the Masquerade was breached, but not by any one of you, but instead by a recording that was made during the Night of Ashes of a Nosferatu getting blasted to bits. This video has begun circulating privately for now, sold as a CD-ROM on the streets or to whoever seems to know where to pick it up. And from what the vampires of Montreal have learned, there seem to be more videos on the way. Now, that said, one of the other videos that came up that wasn't necessarily connected, but raised a few flags, was a video of Ralphie Lombardi going into Silvio's at night. Nothing that was out of the ordinary. It's just the person that filmed it sort of commented on it, said something that led some of the kindred, at least, to believe that, well, perhaps this person knew more than they were letting on, or perhaps it's just a complete fluke. But regardless, we can't just let anything run wild. Now, they said that, but then when our coterie decided to take matters into their own hands and try to fix things, as it were, no one really stepped up to the bat. Everyone offered help, maybe perhaps in their own way, but we're facing something that might end our little budding, I'm not going to say Camarilla because that's not what it is, but, you know, budding group of vampires. And yet everyone's too busy. No one wants to dirty their hands with it. Now, the coterie did go to Silvio, had a nice evening, spoke with Ralphie, saw the footage, and through this grainy CCTV footage, you learned the identity of this person. Because, well, it just so happens that, Lucky, you had seen him before. And he took a bus north. He wore a Hunsick College sweater. The team and the lettering, at least, reminiscent of their soccer team. And that are the big lines where we left off. We're going to start our game tonight in the same place that we left off. Maybe just a couple minutes later. Maybe Ralphie has gone home like he wanted. Maybe you're outside of Silvio by now. It's up to you where you want us to pick the action back up.
I think there were comments about heading back to my place, air some things.
Then that's where we will start our first scene for tonight. A large building in the middle of Little Italy. Retrofitted to Arthur's wants and needs.
Well, everything's unpacked. The library still needs to be taken out of boxes, but the absolute necessities are present.
And where are you having this meeting tonight? At your place? Which room?
I think, again, that there is possible airing of grievance, so this definitely feels like this is the game room. There's a pool table, small sidebar, nice leather chairs, dartboard, usual. And that seems like if there's going to be a airing of one's passions, I'd rather it happen in here with the more replaceable objects.
Because it is the beginning of a session, we may heal superficial
A point of willpower.
Superficial willpower up to our resolve or composure. So I have one superficial willpower sort of done, and I'm gonna just heal that.
Oh yeah, you had used one last. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a messy critical, not a bestial fail. Okay. And I think, I've got coming in with that sort of the image of Ezekiel Luongo and like all the thoughts, since we have all this new information to think about. So we're going to have to go and do some work, and probably quickly.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a couple of leads to think about. This guy who took the amateur footage, that's a fellow named Ezekiel Luongo. He's a college student at the local GSUP. And we've got to look at this guy, the friend of Alex's who stole the Sirius footage. He can tell us where he got it, because where he got it will probably be very important to find out who actually is the serious threat.
Just for player knowledge, how does Lucky look in this moment?
I think he's fine, because he is fine. It's his beast that's going to be the problem. So he doesn't even realize that it's going to be a problem when it comes up.
So it's not like he's more agitated than normal.
Mm-mm.
All right.
No, because it's his beast will manifest in that moment. But I think at the moment he's totally fine, because he doesn't even realize there's going to be a thing. If anything, he's still just a bit agitated by certain people at that meeting not stepping up. You know what I mean? Like, he's got that kind of irritation about that. But you can see that he's still like, that is still like the meeting, the day of the meeting is still weighing on him. Well, sort of that meeting earlier, and people's lack of so people who are like, oh, this is a real problem. I'm just so busy. I mean, I'll help out from over here, but like that thing. Yeah. He's not happy about it.
Flory hasn't been to this residence of Arthur's yet, but has been to others. So she's gonna hop up, so she's seating on the pool table, and then like cross her legs. Then she's still got the like business dress professional going out look, the double, and she kind of cocks her head. Artie, you got a new table. It's a very nice one.
Oh yeah, no. Sylvia hooked me up with something the vintage maker. They come out of I think Chicago, but yeah, had it shipped over.
What's the over-under on who's gonna be broken?
Oh, I am certain it is going to end up broken at some point. It is just a matter of when. But the other nice thing is that I got a good deal.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. But yes, you're right. We should go talk to this kid and intimidate him into telling us everything he knows.
Which one? They're two different ones. We'll have to figure out who Alex's friend is.
Well, that's easier.
Well, I mean, he's the more important danger.
But I don't want to go after him yet.
All right.
Because Alex is going to tell him all about our wonderful conversation, and he'll be on guard. So if we focus on this other kid, then he'll determine that we're focusing on something else, and he'll calm down. And then when we come out of the dark in the middle of the night and creep him up on him and entirely shatter all of his confidence in his brain, he'll tell us everything he knows, including everything else he took.
Okay. Sure. Hey, Flory.
Hmm?
It wasn't good that you mentioned that Hetty was in that video footage. None
I
of them
didn't
ever.
mention Hetty. I said there was someone else there, and everyone saw it.
Nobody had mentioned that. Nobody even noticed that brouhaha before. And you mentioned that it was a brouhaha and there was one there.
So they knew that they saw it. Everyone saw the same footage.
Nobody mentioned her being there at all. Everybody in this town was saying the one vampire. And you point out there was a second one. If they missed it, they didn't need to know that there was a second one there.
Yes, they did, because now they might be concerned that she was the one that spoiled the footage, unless we say that she, was a victim too. But why do you care?
Because they're going to kill her if they find her.
No, but why do you care?
I don't want her murdered.
Yeah, so why?
You know that.
Wait. No, I don't think Flory does.
Yeah, we've already established. That's why I'm suspicious of you, right? Because
No, that's why you're suspicious of me. But Flory's doesn't. I don't think Flory knows who you are in relation to Hattie.
No, I think we established that you did know that you knew who, because we had the thing, right? So that you did know who his sire was, which is why you were interested in bringing him in to the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, the timeline gets so fuzzy, everybody. I don't even remember who remembers what at this point. It's like, okay, she's not the problem. She's going to stand there and murder a bunch of people if she gets an issue. This is what she does. I mean,
You snitched.
no, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You pointed out something they didn't know. You don't need to say
You
something they
didn't
don't
prove.
know.
You can't prove that A, they didn't know anything, and B, you need to calm down. You're a little tense. That is a lot to tense.
Because you put her
actually.
life in danger.
No, I didn't. Her existence isn't a danger. Her being here is a danger. Other people saw her. It's not like,
And those people are
miraculously,
also
nobody.
mostly dead.
No, there's footage. And Giardini saw her. That's why I'm here. Aside from the fact that RT is going to pay me to murder somebody.
Yeah, but most people didn't know she was there. Nobody else even mentioned her. Everybody was saying the
Lucky.
Nosferatu. They didn't know
And-
she was there. She was hiding in the shadows.
Lucky. Check yourself. If I saw her, if you saw her, if Giardini saw her on a footage 2,000 miles away, other people saw her. They just didn't say it to your face. There's a difference in that thing. At least I'm honest.
And now they know that you know what clan she is, which means they know
Yeah.
that you know more.
Yeah, because I'm a Ravnos. I know a lot of things. You'd be surprised at the way we can find out people's clans. Tell me I'm wrong.
From a video footage.
Mhm.
You just put a target on her back, and I don't like it.
Well, you can deal with it. You're not the one actively paying me. He is. And I haven't broken anything yet in this city. There's not a prince for me to piss off at the moment. I haven't robbed anybody yet in this city. I haven't tied anybody up and sent them to my Zalmadi yet, although that's on the list. I warned you about this. That's on the list.
What?
Betty.
Why do you want to kill Betty?
Garbage is something that we don't leave lying around.
Oh,
It attracts unwanted
Flies.
things. And as much as I am not necessarily begrudging the members of the tower that are present here in Montreal, there are the tower that respect the conventions, and then there's Betty. Pretenders are a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Betty is a problem.
she's rude, but she's not a problem.
I know Toreador. That is a pretender. Pretenders are usually dealt with internally. There is not enough Toreador in the city to educate Betty properly.
Has she broken the masquerade?
No, not yet. Not that I can prove.
She
But
was rude and disrespectful, so we're going to kill her for it? Isn't that also part of the traditions not to do that?
She's rude and
I don't
disrespectful.
follow the traditions. I follow the ones that make sense.
Right.
It also, there are lots of traditions, and lots of different people have different traditions.
Mm.
Revenge is one of mine. Vendetta is even better. But more importantly, she will be a problem. Did you
Why?
notice that she didn't stay till the end?
A lot of people didn't stay till the end.
No, she didn't stay to watch the footage or listen to Alexander. She left before that. She wants to be seen as a powerful figure in this city. Power, control, and she wants respect.
Without having done anything.
Oh, but more importantly and more concerningly, she left before any discussion about what the problem was. So there's two reasons for someone like that, who wants that much power and respect, to leave before the discussion of what the problem is happens. One, they already know what the problem is and are working to fix it. Two, they don't care about what the problem is and are using it to facilitate their own growth and power. Now, she's not working to fix it.
Most of them aren't.
No,
You're gonna murder
but
everybody?
she's going to be the one that will try and use it and make it bigger so that she can gain the power when other people kill those in power.
I put to most of the others that were present not to do something dumb enough to get the church all riled up. Betty is an idiot. And I do not need hunters here.
If they have
Not
left.
anymore that are... I am certain there's at least 2 still left in the city, because there always is. And until I can pinpoint them, I don't need a Betty-style problem to rile them up, and all of a sudden 2 become 4, and 4 become 12.
We're looking at Betty as the problem for hunters when everybody's been bending over backwards to protect Alex and his desire to go and sire another thin blood friend.
Oh, we're
And
not-
his
Alex
lying and
needs
covering up.
guidance.
Alex gets guidance and Betty gets murdered.
Alex is a thin blood. He is not of a specific clan who can lay claim to that problem. And therefore, it is up to the elders to do so. It is clear that the Toreador of the city do not see Betty as an issue. Or, if they do, they are ill-prepared to tackle it.
I don't see what she's done that's made her an issue besides be rude.
If you're rude to the wrong people, it becomes a very big issue. She is rude to the wrong people.
She's a whelp. A bad one.
I would also like to point out, she's nominally old enough, or at least she claims to be, to know better. Alexander's what? He's 21, 22, and that's counting his years as kind.
Yeah, no. Betty should know better.
Now,
I'm not saying she wasn't a embracing dump, which is also an unfortunate trait of the Roses. But that is when usually the other clans clean up the garbage.
Also, I fully intend to have a more private conversation with Alexander that involves perhaps a threat of violence and or the shattering of his brain. I haven't quite decided how much of that it's going to be. I'm not letting him get away with anything. I'm not bending over backwards for him either. I just know that near soon time, I'm going to be adjusting how I deal with him so I don't have to have as big of a problem.
Also, I'm certain Foulwall thinks himself incredibly confident, and if Val is in fact somehow tied to this Silvio video, he is going to be very dead very soon. And we need to see about shoring up our own defenses, because anything that I care about is fair game.
I was working on the defenses for the Little Italy earlier this evening. I was trying to help out.
No, that is an excellent point. Yeah, I think I can kill a number of birds with one stone. See about getting some folks in the right places within Little Italy, but also from some of the clientele of the Green, see about getting an urban renewal project going. That'll free up some funds and also conveniently disguise our shoring up of the Little Italy's defenses. Also, I can get proper introduction because it seems like a lot of places that usually are already claimed in the areas of kindred influence are wide open. And the fact that they've been wide open this long makes me itchy.
That's because that's because everybody's doing their own thing. Everybody's in their neighborhood doing their own thing, just like Yuma. If the problem comes to his neighborhood, then he'll care. Otherwise, he doesn't.
I mean, to be fair, the last time he did do something when it was a problem. He's not sure this is a problem yet.
But the lack that there's somebody with their hands firmly on forensics, the police, any of these places where it's good to be able to get a heads up at minimum or have things go missing. And no one has really put their hands to it is a problem that I'm going to try and solve. And usually solving these kinds of problems just involves spending enough money.
Upsettingly true. Money and murder. That's been my experience.
Murder's gotten much more complicated in these nights. This is why I hire professionals. But no, I'm going to see about focusing on the things that I actually have capabilities to deal with. And that is getting things secure one way or another. It also reminds me that I need to unpack those books because Mama's coming, and that means there needs to be wards on places. Because she is of the old country, and she hasn't flexed in a while. And I am certain that this time around, she may very well decide to reach into that bag of tricks.
I don't know. I think going after Betty just feels like she's been here this whole time.
If I was directly going after Betty with a vengeance, she wouldn't have been able to leave.
Indirect, same thing.
If she has common sense, and wants to be the big fish in the small pond, she will get out of Montreal sooner than later. This is not the first time I have dealt with a whelp. And the smart ones, after that kind of interaction, it takes them 4 beats after they leave, and then they realize, oh, hell no. I just mouthed off to a bunch of elders. I now realize what that means, and they get the heck out of Dodge.
I don't want to live in a Camarilla city.
Oh, no, there's going to be no fucking princes here, if I have anything to say about it.
But you're wanting a hierarchy where younglings who don't give all that kind of old stuff, old world respect to the elders, they get murdered. I don't
want. It's not about age. That was a misquote. It is about courtesy. Because here's the thing. Without being able to have certain constraints and being aware of each other's and being polite within those kind of constraints and having the wherewithal to do that, that's when the beast gets loose. whether it's somebody in the splash zone of your stupidity or your own doing. And when the beast gets loose, masquerades get booked. And that is why we take care of whelps. I'm not going to have a 55 again. Ever. And so Betty gets a small grace period. And then she gets God.
We're going by courtesy. There are a bunch of clans, all of whom should be wiped out then, because they're not particularly courteous. If that's our standard of murder of our own kind.
It's having
or
the wherewithal.
exile.
Common fucking sense. If a dream is going to happen here, if we're going to have Constantinople come back, it means that we all have to make compromises. And some of those compromises involve putting one's own ambitions aside. And Betty's not about that. And I only think that staking her for possibly several ages might teach the lesson. And that's being kind and not reaching into my old bag of tricks. Because if I was going to properly teach her a lesson, that would involve me showing my tender mercies upon that nervous system. And I don't want to do that anymore.
Of course, Your Highness. Who are we going after to talk to first?
Here's my answer, Lucky, and why it doesn't really matter. She's not going to end up dead or publicly disposed of. She's just going to disappear. And then my Zalmati will have a present.
Yeah.
But, like I said, there's only two reasons why someone who wants that to be perceived as that the powerful would leave before the discussion of what is wrong happened. And if she's going to be a problem and get in our way, the others, they're not going to help. Fine. I'm not really bothered. I was hired. I'm getting paid. I'm a professional. They're not. That's fine. Just means I get paid better. But her, they'll stay out of it. But her, she'll get in the way. Now, I have a very good professional cachet, reputation. Words are important. I don't need her ruining my reputation. You've never heard of any time that I've been in a city or near one. Even when I had fun in a city. I need to talk to Alexander about his little friend, but that will happen once Alexander's calmed down and no longer intimidated by having been called in front of all of the elders in the city and babied by Diana. So, Lucky, wanna go talk to your little friend?
Sure.
I feel like it's a night that will be revelatory about what goes on in the city. Or doesn't.
He's over in the north. Not exactly North Montreal. But
do you want to direct and I'll drive?
Sure.
You coming?
No, you'll be safe. If Val's gonna show up, a lot of kind and this place needs to be shored up. That means reading and spending money, making phone calls. If I don't do them now, they won't get done.
I can distract her for a little while if you want. I can post Giardini's, not Giardini. Whoops, wrong one. I, the player, screwed that up, and I should know better.
Who you're looking for?
Flori's actual sire, not Giardini.
Oh,
her
yeah.
Casimir.
Casimir. Thank you. Because it's Casimir and Val versus Giardini and Val. I can post Casimir's sign all over this city and totally mess with her head.
She's overdue. That's only happened one time before. If it's anything like last time, I don't want any of her. Because it means she's given herself time to plan, and this isn't a casual meddling.
How do we know she's involved at all?
She's overdue.
Honestly, we don't, but I always like to plan for the worst possible outcome. And, 200 years to Michi is part of the worst possible outcomes.
Lucky, there's some things I haven't gotten over with about my clan. We're called dragons for a reason.
What reason?
The collateral damage is not something that the clan typically cares about. And we try our best not to kill one another. We make each other suffer. Because suffering continues a lesson. And Val is possibly one of 12 that I still have track of, somewhat, that are experts in suffering.
Why are you two in bad relations?
I got bored. I got bored.
Okay.
Oh, me?
No, me.
Oh, no, okay. I thought I, the player, misheard, and I thought you said, why are you two, meaning Florian?
No. Him and his sire.
Yeah, okay. That I was like, I'm confused by that statement, but that makes more sense. Thank you. I apologize.
I was embraced because in Val's eyes, I would make an awfully good monster. And they were not wrong.
Okay.
But then I got bored. I got bored of what the Sabbat was. I got bored of her at that time. And that is an insult. One not forgiven. And then I did the worst thing possible. I got out. I didn't have the courtesy to die. And so we go about as sire and child throughout the ages, hurting one another.
Because you broke up with her.
If you want to keep it simple. Yeah, there's layers there, but that gets into some very strange conversations. But we don't kill one another. We haven't even staked one another because that would cause the suffering there, or be a respite.
So you just kill each other's friends.
Oh, I don't really kill a lot of stuff.
So
when it's my turn, because we take turns. When it's my turn, I don't kill, which is also another insult. I humiliate, I inconvenience. I leave a message in that I don't destroy. And that infuriates them to no end.
You made it seem at the meeting that she does.
Oh yeah. Like Val stayed on the low end of the totem pole of the Sabbat because Val doesn't like to hold themselves back. Doesn't play politics, especially not well. Val is old school Zamish. In that this world is a playpen, and they will experiment and enjoy themselves until someone, something makes them go away.
Well, so what this is about is that she's going to come in and kill everybody else around here but you?
No.
Torture
needs-
us first. I suppose.
No. Torture is for those that Val is interested in. No. This is the maiming of people, leaving monsters of the people I care about in the city to rampage. There are things that the clan can do and that they can do that make the nightmares of kind and kindred seem tame. I should really lend you a copy of The Cathedral of Flesh.
What's that?
An old home for the clan. Its documentation is enlightening.
Well,
And like Florrie will lean forward. She's still sitting on the pool table, and she'll like lean forward to kind of whisper to Lucky. It goes, it involves flaying a lot of people and using them as production and body and construction materials
well,
while they were still alive.
why? Why would you do that?
Because it gave them power.
And it's fun.
Well, I suppose I'll look forward to being flayed alive then.
No. Bruja are of a very specific breed in Val's eyes. You don't get flayed, you don't get changed. Not unless you're of the old Carthaginian type. No. Val likes to play mind games with y'all.
Oh, okay. That would hurt you most, I suppose?
See the humanity completely drained from you? Yes.
But I'm not human.
You're human enough, Lotta. You're human enough.
Thanks for the warning. Do you think the Val's going to come in and just bring in a bunch of the church with her to destroy the city again?
No. Val hates the church as much as I do.
But I mean, that seems like it would upset you, right? If this is a place you want to be. She just
No.
comes in and preaches a masquerade by having flayed people running about, and then the church comes and burns everything down, and she leaves and laughs.
That could be a side effect. But no, if it's overdue, Val's plan. And right now there's a targeting phase. If Silvio's is what I think it is the first shot across the bow. It is the warning that Val is coming. And then there will be small, minor things that pop up. Problems that need to be solved, one after another. And then when my resources are spent and I am tired is when they will strike.
I don't know why you just wouldn't burn down the restaurant. It seems like a lot of work when you could just be more upfront about it. A bit more, just burn down the restaurant, shoot some people in the head, do it. It seems like a lot of work to humiliate you and make you miserable when you could just do it much faster and easier.
Because she gets off on it.
Seems roundabout way when you could just be more direct.
Direct action is for those who are beneath the dragon.
Look, I can tell you a little story about how Casimir has basically... She and Casimir have...
A thing.
Yeah, it usually involves murder. Unfortunately, not hers. Casimir swore an oath to protect a lineage of seers. She decided
Understandable.
to... Well, this was also in the 18th century. Paris, outside. One of the salons before the revolution.
Oh.
She was... Val was there. She was throwing a salon. Invited the seer as entertainment. Knew that the seer was a member of the clan and protected. She was the entertainment. Just not the kind that could leave after a while. Casimir decided that was a violation.
Yeah.
And then she didn't have the courtesy to stay in one place long enough to end up dead.
But he's gonna kill her, right?
Oh, eventually. But the problem is she keeps leaving when he finds out that he's here. Honestly, I wonder if I could...
Oh.
I'm going to have to talk to Zamadi about retrofitting one of the storage bays in the ride.
Well, Artie here thinks that she's gonna make her way to Montreal, so maybe Casimir can show up too if he wants to kill her.
Oh, I'll let him know. That's a possibility. That's why I said that I could post his sign all over the city, and if she's actually here, it might slow her down a little bit and cause her to leave, just because she never stays in the same place that he is.
Val is versed enough to know that it would be you that left the sign, not Casimir.
This is true.
I'm glad I don't have to deal with any of this stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Complicated.
It's family. Of course family is complicated.
Some more than others.
Yeah, what he said. Some people's families seem a lot more complicated than others. And he just
Look, at
points
least-
to Artie. Just
No. And Flurry will lean over and goes, at least he's not the Giovanni. That's even worse.
Yeah, I don't know them.
They only turn their own clan members, and by that I mean their own direct blood descendants. It's all incestuous and creepy as fuck.
Except for the dumb
You mean
son,
they
which is even
used to.
worse.
They used to. They got wiped out.
So are they just a really small clan then? I mean, you probably
They
can't
are
have
bigger than one would ever wish, but then when the bad times happened recently, they experienced the brunt of the wrath.
Yeah, they weren't really in a good place, but cannibalism and incestuous breeding. It's
Wow. All right. Well, that's a thing.
like I said, at least he's not a Giovanni.
I suppose. Well, I always think about on the ice when somebody's dancing around too much. they're not actually scoring goals.
True, but that assumes that their goal is to score goals and not be a distraction as the defender for someone else to score a goal.
To
I
put it in
suppose.
hockey terms, Val wants to check you so hard, but not get put in the penalty box for that.
So she's just not playing the same game everybody else is.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. That must be kind of awful to have a sire like that.
There are worse things on this earth.
I'm sorry anyway.
Again, Lucky, I like you. And I want you to be able to stay here. Be
Well,
careful.
if some 100 centuries old, if your ex comes to town and decides to destroy your life, I don't think there's much we can do about it. That's what you said to Valois.
Oh, I'm saying Valois has absolutely no chance because Val has a particular type when it comes to the Tremere. Val holds an ancient grudge held by the clan against the Tremere's very existence and likes to prove that the older ways are the best ways and will try and turn that kindred into a candle.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm just saying if a psychotic arsonist is going to come through and burn everybody you care about, I don't think there's much we can do about it. That's at least that's not how you made it seem. So what's going to happen?
There's much to be done. I mean, with ward number of places, mystically. We can also
have that power.
I was with Val for quite some time.
I didn't know you could do,
I am not anything like Valois or Val, as I do not have necessarily full-blown blood magic, but I know enough to inconvenience those who do.
Oh. That's impressive. Can you read minds?
Oh, hell no. I can. It's very gross.
You don't want to see the way he would have read the mind.
Probably just taking. I feel like that's not the same thing. It's more like being a seer, right? Casting bones, and by that, taking brains. We're gonna go find a college student.
Yeah, we're just going to intimidate them, and then it looks like we're walking into this, and then who's ever actually watching us for this other bigger problem is going to think that we're not paying attention to them, and therefore they'll feel calmer, and then when we go over and pop out of the darkness and rip their intimidate them, they'll be more likely to tell us everything we want to know.
Right.
I seriously need to work with both of you about being able to digest the Capri Suns, because you're not you when you're hungry.
I mean, we're old enough that it takes a bit more, but anyone can do it if they wanted to.
And again, the additives that are put into a blood bag make most kindred rich.
Oh. I've never tried one myself, so.
Not until you're ready. I played merry with my own metabolism for about 2 decades before I was able to digest them.
It's the anticoagulants.
Oh. What do they taste like?
Oh.
Are they?
You ever have a really bitter meal that you can remember back in the day?
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's also trying to squirm out of you.
Oh. All right. Okay. we didn't have most of the places I was at didn't have refrigeration like that, you know.
I don't recommend it.
Hmm.
And honestly, there are other complications
Okay.
for some of us.
Yeah.
You too. All right. What are you gonna be doing while we're out?
Making phone calls, trying to set up a gala, probably with the local metropolitan policeman's beneficiary. Playing nice with kind, as well as getting the right books in the right places and starting to assemble the kit to at least ward the haven, and then see about warding other individual places like Silvio's, and then probably your personal residence, Lucky, because scrying is a terrible tool and insanely useful. And if we can deprive Val of it, so much the better.
Okay. We're gonna go talk to a college student who doesn't know much, so
Yeah, stay safe and hopefully everything goes well.
yeah. But look, I really don't know why this whole second video is even brought up in the same breath as the first one at that meeting, because this is clearly just some idiot who doesn't know anything. I
We
mean,
can help that.
these two videos are completely different. One is heavily encrypted in such a way that you can't even make copies of it. Heavily controlled. It's clearly happened during the Night of Ashes and was a whole thing, and is an actual masquerade breach that just waiting to happen, and more. One that we've been worried about for months. And the second one is just some conspiracy theorist kid taking a video of not even one of us and putting it on Reddit. Like it's a completely different thing. I don't
Best
even know why
case scenario, everything you say is true. Worst case scenario with our conspiracy theorists is that somehow Val has manipulated them. That's the worst case. And you are right. That video being brought up was Alex trying to distract.
But why do we even have that meeting? What was that about? I mean, the whole point of the meeting is we got this brand new footage. If we didn't, I mean, we could have just not have had a meeting at all. That first footage, the serious stuff, has been out for months. We've known about it for a while. Nobody called a meeting then. We get a meeting for the second video, which is...
It was an excuse.
Hmm.
It was an excuse to get the kindred to actually give a damn about the city in a room. But a lot of people are giving a damn only about their sections, is what is clear. And until someone starts moving and shaking enough, the others are perfectly fine sitting in their own corners. So let's give them the excuse to actually care. And that's why I'm going to be on the phone. Because all of a sudden, if I have control of the media, the police, the forensics, they're going to care. They're going to care a lot.
Don't forget the coroner.
Again, forensics is a broad term. Also, I want to definitely get a hold of the judiciary if I can.
I just think it's strange.
Oh, I agree. That's why when you and I leave, we're going to be very loud about where we're going. Want people to think that we bought the trap.
Also, I just don't like how it was all, this is your area. I didn't like that. I didn't like that either. A lot of weird fingers. I didn't like it.
It's very Anna. Until you establish yourself as someone I care about, it is all, this is mine, that is yours, leave me alone.
No, I meant
Antisocial.
they started off with, this is happening in your territory. I don't like it.
Oh. A lot of those people are informed as to who I am and who I was. And if they're properly informed, then yes, they want this to be a thing that inconveniences me. Because, I was a really terrible monster for quite some time. And if they talk to anybody back in the day, they should be fucking scared, terrified that I'm here.
All right, well, come on, Flory. Let's go for a distraction.
Distraction, a little fun in the city. Let's see who's trying to follow us.
Also, again, if you can, not necessarily with the kid, you look peckish. Get something.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Ta-ta, you kids have fun. And with that, pair of kindred goes their way while Arthur remains behind. I'll focus, if you don't mind, Pope, on the pair of kindred first. So, where to?
Well, we know the siege that he goes to. We know where that is. We know his neighborhood. We know which bus he took.
Yep.
So, figured we'll head out that way. And we know what team he plays for. It is August, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Late August.
So school has barely started. Basically, CJEPs, I don't remember exactly with the years, but normally we used to start on like the last week of August, was like our first week of classes. Then we'd have Labor Day, and then you do the real learning afterwards.
Yeah. So should probably just go and see where they hang, right?
Sure.
Ask around. What time is it? Are the kind still up?
You've been at it for, I'd say it's clearly around like pushing 1 a.m. right now.
They're college students. They don't sleep.
You'll find, like, depending where you're looking or who you're looking for, you'll find people, but it's not like once you go out into the street, like you notice it is decidedly more deserted than it was before.
I figure either there might be some sort of party or something they're at, which we might be able to find them since school's just starting, or we'll just have to ask around, I'll have to ask around tomorrow.
Most of them are like, most college students think that I'm one of them.
Yeah. So I figure we head over that way, see if we can find some parties, maybe parties with some athletes, and ask around.
We'll take my car.
Okay. That'll be kind of conspicuous, yeah?
Not the RV.
Oh, okay, because your RV is really conspicuous.
But it's great and I love it, and it is a perfect present. It also makes things a lot easier. Because she does have, in this beautiful, wonderful luxury RV, there's the garage. It's at the bottom that actually has a drop down so that you can pull the 66 Chevy Corvette Spider. Excuse me, 63 Chevy Corvette Spider.
Nice.
Red.
And I think Lucky will keep the LP at Artie's because they're going out.
Yeah. Also, technically, I'm going to have to retcon that LP.
Wow.
No, I'm going to have to retcon.
You give me a present and then you take it away from me.
I'm not taking away the present. I'm going to have to change which album it is, because I realized the next night that the album I said it was released posthumously. after he died, so Sam Cooke couldn't have signed it. And I want to keep the
Right.
signed by Sam Cooke aspect
Right.
of it.
Or that's the thing. It's after his death, but it's signed by Sam Cooke.
I'm not going to pull that one.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a vampire. I'm just saying there are people with necromancy.
Simon, I would some cases I would do that, but considering the way in which Sam Cooke was murdered,
Oh,
and
I didn't
everything
know
that
that.
came out. No, it's a
There is
fun
a whole
fact.
thing.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. And fun fact for those of you like Simon who didn't know what that Sam Cooke issue was,
Oh,
there is a Netflix documentary about it that's actually pretty good, and
Oh,
from an
okay.
academic standpoint, is actually pretty good.
Because some of them are not. So
No,
good.
this one is actually is focused more on the music, and then everything else happens. And they did a lot of interviews with a lot more of the musicians that were hanging out with him then.
Oh, nice.
So it's actually very good. Hashtag not sponsored, but if you didn't know, there are. But yes, I'm not pulling a major murder, civil rights murder victim
no.
Yeah.
turning into a vampire thing.
So yeah, I think we'll hop
So
in.
so that's the only retcon, Trooper.
Yeah.
We're just
What was the
retconning
earlier
which
ones?
album.
Uh,
And I should have known better. I'm sorry.
oh, it's fine. And I think I'll hop in, leaving the LP at
Yep.
Artie's.
Yeah, so it is a 63 Spider, and it is absolutely beautiful, and it is in mint condition because she bought it new, and she's kept it up.
Nice. Yeah. And I think he just sort of slides in,
Mhm.
notes like, "Ooh, fancy," and like make sure to like wipe his shoes before he gets in, so he doesn't mess up the interior.
There are brand new papers on the floor mats.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, okay. Do you have any preferences for music?
Oh, jazz,
What kind of jazz?"
big band.
It's a little late for this car. Frank, the Columbia years. And the one change in this car is that it does have a plug-in that actually goes in the cigarette lighter speaker that's a Bluetooth that connects to her phone that she just pulls up the album
Nice.
on. Because she's not changing anything about the car, but she can still get music that she wants when she wants it.
So to the tunes of Frank,
Mhm.
you make your way north. I mean, you're
West and north.
towards Hunsick, and I mean, leaving from Little Italy is, especially at 1 a.m., not really a long ride. You get there in 2.5 songs, basically.
Yeah.
As you approach the CJEP, you notice
I imagine it's not residential, right?
across the street from the CJEP it is.
Oh.
And there are, so like as you, basically I'm making you drive like the main street that would go, technically it would go in back of the CJEP. But then you have like parking and all that and whatever.
I suppose my
but-
question is, in
yeah.
the States, community colleges are not normally residential colleges. People usually like stay at home or have an apartment and they just...
No,
there's, like,
here
not
we
dorms or
have,
anything.
no, we have dorms for just about all of them.
Nice.
Don't quote me on that. There's a handful that might not have any, but normally we have dorms for each CJEP.
that makes
and
it easier.
in this case, it is a beige and black building. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stories high. It's shaped like an L, sort of dug in the middle of a bunch of very low hills. It looks like it's been dropped onto a golf court. But those are the dorms. And next to the dorms, because it's Hunsick, you have several what we would call sport complexes. Like, there's one with an Olympic-sized pool. There's a volleyball court. There's 2 baseball fields. There's a soccer field. There's a football field. There's, like, it's just basically almost separating or isolating the CJEP from all the streets around it. What you notice, though, is right across the street from the dorms, you've got 2 things. One is like a hot dog stand called the patate rouge, the red potato.
Yeah.
And across the street from the red potato, basically, like, if it does like a V pattern. So you've got the CJEP, the dorms here, the red potato, and then right there, it's like separated from the dorms by just a parking lot, is the main police station for the north of Montreal.
Nice.
They have full view of not only Hunsick, but also there's another like private college right next door. The kids don't party too hard. Or if they do, they don't do it right where the cops are.
Right.
But as you approach the CJEP from the main street, you begin to notice at first the streets are mostly deserted. And then as you cross the metropolitan, basically as you cross into what would be Montreal North, you start to notice, especially around the CJEP, more and more cars parked on the streets. What little public parking you have for the CJEP that is available at the moment are full. And they're not nice cars. They're older models, a little banged up. Some of them have windows covered with duct tape. Many of them have more stickers on it than a NASCAR car. And you can see from the dorms, several windows are open, light shining from them, no curtain, no blinds. You can hear music, but you're not quite sure if it's a party or if it's just someone listening to loud music. There's a few of those. And I would like you all, both of you, if you could make in wits and awareness. The difficulty we're looking for is just a 2.
Okay.
What?
2 of 2.
Well, Trooper, you got 3 of 2.
No.
No.
Because I just looked it up. 10s only count as double. And
I thought you had 3 10s. That's why. My bad. No, you've got 2 successes. And the 10 doesn't double yet.
No, I have 3 successes. Yeah.
Yeah, you have 3 successes.
Yeah, that's it.
No, I meant 2 of the green ones. I thought they were all doubles. That's why.
Yeah, and 10s do not count double unless you only have if you have 2 of them.
You have 2 10s.
But one won't count as 2.
Okay. That's true.
Succeed.
Yep. And so you realize very quickly that what you see from the dorms, what you hear from the dorms, is clearly not party music. And also there's not enough shouting, there's not enough talking coming from the dorms. it's probably just a little get together. They opened the windows because it got too hot.
Or they're
And
smoking.
other windows are lit up because just the students are there, but no, your trained undead senses, you're good at that. Sensing where prey is. And you figure out with all the cars parked nearby, there's definitely a party, probably probably inside a building, maybe hidden from view from the cops.
Mm-hmm.
And as you look, as you drive slower, just to take a better look, you notice that 2 cars are parked on the side of the street, on the curb, exactly where a narrow paved driveway, if you will, enters the the field where all the other sports centers are, and it just curves slightly and then ends at another dorm. This one with, again, music blasting, windows open, there's light. But the 2 cars blocking off the entryway, it's probably so that if, cops are coming, they'll have plenty of time to
skedaddle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then just spray Febreze all over the place to make sure that,
It never works, but okay, whatever, college students, it's fine.
Yeah.
We know what you're doing, but it's fine.
Look, at least the Febreze smells better than the Axe.
Well, they don't need to do it here anyway. And I don't think by the time we were playing the game, our game is set, they didn't need to do it either.
And I think Lucky's going to
There's
follow.
no reason. Nobody ever needs to spray Axe. They just do.
It's true. It's true. And Lucky's going to sort of indicate to Flory and sort of step. He's going to walk with her, but he's letting her take the lead because she's the hot woman. If they're going to get into a party, it's because she is there.
Yeah, and Flory's going to take a second before they leave the car to reach in the back seat, because technically a 63 Stingray has the back seat. It's great. There's only 2 doors, but there's technically a back seat. She's reach in the back seat and pull out the heels that she wasn't wearing because she was wearing practical shoes. She's like, heels. She's gonna untuck the shirt. She's gonna unbutton an extra 2 buttons. She's gonna roll the sleeves and then pull the entire thing so she actually looks like so maybe she had to work in the office today, but now she's ready to go to a party because, oh my god, it's been so long. And the minute she gets out of the car, because she knows that doesn't matter how drunk teenage and college students are, a hot car making an appearance nearby will get noticed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she'll take an extra second getting out of the car, and she'll have that moment as she's locking the doors, because this is a 63 Stingray and you don't have automatic locks. You have to lock them manually.
There's
somebody staring at her ass by this point? Yes.
Yes.
At least 3.
I was gonna say
followed,
there's only 2
Yeah, that was gonna
people.
be the next question.
Yeah.
Followed? No, not at the moment.
Okay. It was the middle of the night, so you figured,
Yeah.
You would have, especially where you are, you would have seen them.
Yeah, and that was also Flory's comment. She wanted to know if they were getting attention as they were leaving.
With using your same successes, you weren't followed. No, there's 2 guys smoking from a bong. They're sitting at on the little cement steps. There's 2 of them that lead into the dorms, and they're just in awe of the car, but so high that in their mind they're probably saying something like "wow."
Right. Yeah.
But there's no sound. They're just slack-jawed looking at you coming in.
because we're going to be around Kine, I'll have to blush a blight. Otherwise, it'll
show.
Corpse. Yep. Where's my rouse?
I will require a rouse check.
Yes, indeed.
I did that already tonight because we were.
New scene. It's a per scene.
It's a per scene thing now, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Where's my rouse check?
Fine. Where is rouse check again? Oh, it's under hunger.
It's
right above
it's
discipline.
Under hunger.
On the back? Oh, I see it.
No, on the front.
Yep, thank you. Thank you. I'm a hunger 3. It's okay. I'm planning on murdering somebody in front of a whole bunch of people and beating off. So.
The only reason why you're not going immediately for them, and mind you, I'm just saying this as like the first, reflexive thought that comes to your mind, is, oof, their blood is going to taste like skunk.
Yeah. Also, I don't think you get at 2. You're not in danger of like blood frenzy yet, but now we're.
No, you're at 3 now.
Yeah. Now we're getting there.
Also, I would like to say that I guarantee these boys, and they're boys. I don't care. And I'm using that as a specific term. I'm not gendering them. I am just saying that they are mentally boys.
CJEP is from 16 to 19.
Cool. Even worse. Could not afford and do not know what good pot is to begin with. So we guarantee that what they're smoking smells like shit.
Oh yeah, and you can smell it when you can smell it, and just by the time you've either walked like to them or past them and into the building, your clothes are going to smell.
Yeah, like there's this pause as Florrie's locking the door of the car. She just whispers just loud enough that Lucky can hear. Is like, I'm going to have to burn these clothes.
Bleach
does not get the smell out of them. Also, it's black. I don't want to. You don't bleach black.
Yeah, no, yeah, right, of course. Right. And he's trying to think of like a good, like old school remedy to get rid of all of that. And he's like, cedar maybe? It's like, he's thinking as he's like.
Yeah, it's like, if I was wearing other things that were, appropriate, I'd know what to do. But no, this is all polyester and cheap shit. It's designed to get blood on it and then burn.
Oh, makes sense.
You wanna burn something, Lee? Girl? 'Cause we got shit to burn. Yeah.
She'll just smile, wink, and blow a kiss as she walks by.
There's just one who like grabs your kiss from the air and just says, 304. And the other guy just looks at him and like, we don't even know them.
That sounds like an invitation for me to have dinner later. But I don't want to eat that.
And he goes, hey, where's the party?
We're not supposed to tell people. We're supposed to vet people coming in.
I got invited.
Cause, what's your where are you studying in? Yeah.
Oh, I'm studying French literature and intersectionality with French interpretive dance at what's the stupid school's name? It starts with an M.
McGill.
And McGill.
That's not McGill here. I think you're lost.
No, I got invited. Yeah. 3 boys sent me an invite. They're going to come to my dance routine next week. The girls should be here soon.
The what?
Yeah, the other members of my dance team. I can't do it myself.
Nice. Nice.
I mean,
then, like, one of them just stumbles up, walks to the door, opens it. He's like, "Yep, 304. Told you they were invited." Oh, as you walk in, you're already inside the building, maybe like halfway in the corridor between like you and the staircase, between the door and the staircase, when you hear that guy that was holding the door just shout out, "Is that your boyfriend?"
She just lets that linger.
And as the door shuts, you just hear, "Oh, tabarnak."
And I just let that linger. That's all.
You.
The third floor.
Yep. Third floor. You're not even on the third floor that you can feel the vibrations in the stairs of the music.
Yep.
Yep. The door to the dorm is closed. But you can hear it. You can hear it, and you can smell it. However, from what you could notice coming upstairs, is that a lot of the other dorms around are empty. Either people haven't had time to like move their stuff in, or maybe they're gonna remain empty all semester. Who cares? But that's probably why you figure they're having such a loud party, because they know they're not gonna bother anyone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The door is unlocked, by the way. If you just play with the handle a bit, it's unlocked.
I open the door for Flory.
She'll take a moment to actually thank you politely.
Oh.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're looking for Ezekiel Longo. I figured it might be better if you ask than if I do.
Mm-hmm. So do you think he's an Ez or Zeke? Let's go with Zeke. Zeke! I was promised a date. Why are you not at the door waiting for me?
When you shout that out, you realize the music is a lot louder. You find out that the music is a lot louder than you thought. And there's just there's a group of it's 2 girls and 2 guys. They're standing by the door. You almost open the door in one of them, one of their faces.
Yeah.
They're the only ones who've heard you, and they just... Who?
Zeke! Oh, where's Ezekiel?
Is he... they're confused, and
she's gonna start tapping the toe of her heels.
Eventually one just points
herself,
one points deeper in. So the layout of the place very quickly is it's kind of built like a cross shape, like a cross of rooms. So you've got 3 rooms vertically, if you will, and then 2 rooms on each side. So when you come in, you're inside what would have been their living room, their living space.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's right after is the kitchen, and then you've got a very small dining room would be the top of your cross, and then each side is bedroom and the only bathroom. But they point to the kitchen, just farther down. They don't really answer. One of them, you think they repeated Vicky. It's so sad that they're such hard of hearing at that age, to the point where, Lucky, one of them could scream and nobody would hear them.
I'm certain. We do have a mission right now.
Yeah, but
yeah,
there's that voice in the back of your head that's just, you could just take a bite. They wouldn't notice.
When I get home.
And I mean, on the couch right now, there's just so many kids necking that It would blend right in.
I know, but I don't want Flory to think that I'm unprofessional. Come on now.
How much willpower do you have total?
4.
4?
Hmm.
You can keep it, straight and steady for now. You move into the kitchen. There are several punch bowls with Kool-Aids of various colors. Clearly, there's more booze than Kool-Aid in those punch bowls.
Yeah.
There's a lot of alcohol. A lot of them, the bottles are almost empty. And when we're talking liquor, but they're probably empty not because they were drunk, but because they were stolen from their parents' bars, and that's just what they had at home.
That's why that's why they make jungle juice, because they can't have enough to drink for everyone.
And they're so young that it doesn't matter what they drink or the order in which they drink it.
I'll just grab a glass and hold it, just as you do.
Yeah.
Grab a glass and hold it.
This is a classy party. Whatever you drink, it's in a red Solo cup.
Absolutely. I was
okay. The most important question: where's the beer pong game, and what are the odds?
So the weird thing is,
cheat. I feel like it's unfair. You know what I mean? Like your kindred. I feel like you're gonna win, but
here's where I talk a bit about my experience in college.
Uh-oh.
All the parties we went to, there never was. Beer pong is like an American thing. Like it might now in 2022 because, the internet and blah, blah, blah. But when back in my day, back when, YouTube was an okay thing. Don't demonize me, YouTube. But yeah, so there's and also you realize there's not even enough room to have an actual beer pong table. Their dining table is just a circle. No, they're all just more interested into reaching the tonsils of whoever they're with than anything else around. They pause to drink, breathe, and that's about it. But when you get to the kitchen, behind the kitchen counter, there's two. They act as probably like they're bartenders. Two teenagers. They look a little bit older than everybody else here. Probably the only people here who are of legal age, which is 18, by the way. So, so early CJEP, you need to have an older friend to go grab
where you can get
stuff
alcohol.
for you. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the moment they see you, they're all smiles. They look a little tipsy, but that's it. And just, hey, how's it going? Everything all right? You want something to drink? And get you something, or?
Yeah, thanks. Labatt's, punch, whatever.
Labatt, what are you, like my dad?
It's hip. It's the new hip thing.
It's also cheap.
He just looks to the other, and they just snicker, and he gives you a. It's one of those craft beers.
Oh.
You know the ones that, regardless of the logo, you know that it's probably brown and reds.
Yeah.
Maybe with like a little beige on it. You don't really care about the image in the logo. It's all the same color. It's all the same font. It's all the same taste. And anyway, in your case, it's not like you care.
Yeah, no.
But he's like, that's, the only beer we have.
Thanks. Just take it. And we'll start scanning. Allow Flory to do her thing. And he'll start scanning to see if he can see Ezekiel.
Do you remain in that room while scanning, or do you move about? Because from the kitchen, you wouldn't be able to see, for instance, inside the bedroom.
Yeah. He's going to wait for her to do her thing because he figures she's got this, but he's keeping eyes open while she does her thing.
Yeah, so she's gonna cock her hip. She'll take a drink, but she doesn't drink from it. But that's not weird because she doesn't know these boys, and
Yep.
she's a cute girl.
Yep.
So they wouldn't actually expect her to drink it.
Yeah.
Or if they were American shit, they wouldn't expect her to drink it. I'm going to assume it's the same thing in Montreal by this point.
Yeah, there's it. What would happen more is they wouldn't expect you not to drink it, but they would expect you to keep your glass always on your person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
but
like
it's one
if
of
you
those-
leave your glass unattended, no one's
Yeah.
really necessarily going to help you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no one's. But here's the thing: she didn't get the drink, so that's the other side.
Yeah.
They handed it to her.
No, and if you tell them that you don't want to drink something, yeah, they're fine with it.
Yeah. Ezekiel said he was going to be here. Where is he?
So the two bartenders, there's one, he's a short guy, broad shoulders, blonde hair about like reaches half his neck. He's got like a little what do you call when it's only the chin strap? No, chin strap is here. Just
No,
the chin.
chin strap is the very.
No, chin
thin-
strap is the sides. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's not a goatee
Soul
because that's the
patch.
full thing.
It's soul patch.
Not a
yeah.
soul patch, just here.
Oh, that's a goatee. The full thing's a Van Dyke. Everyone
Oh, okay.
everyone uses the wrong term, but
Oh.
the goatee is technically just this part here, and a Van
Okay.
Dyke is when you actually
Like
connect
a
it.
goat, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got like a little goatee, but you realize that like he's been probably trying to grow it for years or months, and it's just not. And the other is she's taller than him, probably 5'8", 5'9". Hair that is completely black on the surface, but you can see the inside is like multicolored, like layers
Yeah.
of colors. She's got a couple of piercings, 2 in the lips. All of her ears are pierced, and she's wearing kind of like him. They're just wearing like t-shirts and jeans. And the way they move about, you think they're probably like roommates or they know each other or dating or something like that. And she goes, "Oh, Ezekiel, black guy, soccer
Yeah.
player?
Yes.
Yeah, he was here. You missed him. He left a couple hours ago with shit. I don't remember their names. They're on his team anyway. They're always together. They were playing a game. I don't know. And she looks to the guy next to him, and he fills in the rest. Someone dared them to go get the trophy they lost last year. And I told
Did
them
they
it
at
was a
least make a
stupid
bet?
idea.
Did they at least make the bet to do it naked, or is this just like a stupid bet to run into the other team's dorm? Because that's just stupid.
No, they're gonna. And then he stops.
Oh, so they're actually going to do it naked. I might actually have to see that. Do we know who's going to post it on TikTok? Whose Instagram feed is it on?
We're in 2014. That doesn't exist yet.
No, it did.
2014? Oh shit!
Yeah,
I'm older than I thought.
I know. You're just old.
It's okay. I know because I was teaching high school at the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's like, no, not naked, not naked. They're gone to St. Lo.
Okay.
No.
Do I know where they're
St. Lo, you would know.
no, but do I know where they hold the trophy? Like I imagine it's probably in
It's inside the CJEP.
yeah, but probably like in the gym or like the office or like a in that kind of area, right?
Yeah, there's like a display case in when you come into the but yeah, St. Lo is about a half-hour walk from the CJEP. And he's like, they haven't gone back. So
Maybe they chickened out.
Or did they call you from? Did they call you from like lockup and like they need you to bail them out?
He looks at his cell, shakes his head, and the girl does the same. She's like, "No, we know Zeke from."
Well, he lied to me then. He said he was going to be here, and he hasn't, so he lied to me. I guess he's not worth it then.
I like, I'm like, I've got my back turned to them because I don't need them to be paying too close attention to me as I'm like just scanning the room. I kind of like make my way, I think, to like the doorway and kind of lean up against the door jamb and like watch the party.
While you're doing, I'll get back to you in a sec. The girl just replies when you say he's not worth it. She's like, well, I mean, if you want to find him, he's at St. Lo. You can wait him outside with oh shit, that's not a So we have an expression for like if you're a woman and like your husband's not back home at night, or he comes back late or drunk, and it's you can wait for him with a brick and a lantern.
I mean, that's kind of the way it works in English, although it's an older phrasing. And it's less of a brick and more of a 2x4.
Yeah. So it's voilà, t'en as qu'une brique per fanal. So it's so she's basically saying, if you want to,
yeah,
if you're pissed at him or whatever, like he's technically right there right now.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a nice night. And
sure. I'm sorry he chickened out.
and she's gonna saunter out the door, and making sure she's gonna take a quick scan as she does, to see who's here.
Yeah.
Who's here? Who's not here? Just kind of putting that in my head.
There's you notice there's an apparent lack of athletic types.
Yeah.
They were probably all with like friends of Zeke, and they all left with them on the dare. They probably are the ones that dared him or something. None of the kids here are like. Well, I'll go for Lucky because you had a bit of a longer time to watch them. Like some of them are on their cell phones. Those that don't have someone with them, or the moment the person they're with gets up to like go to the bathroom or go get a refill or whatever, they get their cell phones out. But with everything that's been happening, scanning the room, you notice that none of them are holding their phones in such a way that they could film your face.
Right.
They're mostly hunched over their phone. And with the music playing, even the people that were like a couple feet behind you while you were talking to like the couple there, you don't think that they heard anything.
Yeah.
And they're probably too drunk to care. But
and I think basically once he hears that she's going to go, he's going to go first to sort of part the way for her, right through the crowd. Just
people move out of the way. I mean, you look older than anyone that should be here.
Look, 27, 28, 29, something like that. Yeah.
The oldest here is probably, the oldest here is about 18.
Yeah.
So you have this air of either I've been in CJEP all my life, or like I'm here to pick up younger chicks or younger guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I actually dropped off that 6-pack I had for my friend already, so I don't.
Leo, you already bought the 6-pack to Leo.
Yeah, so I don't even have the 6-pack even. So sad. It's terrible.
Well, I mean, you can hand that one beer you've been holding on to.
Oh.
And not drinking.
I'm not gonna. You're gonna hand it off on your way out. Well, no, we're gonna give it to the guards.
The guys that are outside. Yeah, the guards. The bouncers.
But I think I'll just grab one more so I could give one to each of them.
All right.
On the way out.
You're going to make your way out, and we're just going to take a quick break. When we come back, Arthur and St. Lo.
I think Arthur's going to go better. I think. Just.
I hope. I mean, what could go wrong? But anyway, stick around, everyone. We'll be back in like about 5 minutes. Just get yourself something to drink, maybe some craft beer, or just put everything in a punch bowl.
Labatt.
Or a Labatt if you're able to get some where you are. Hashtag not sponsored. And or just a shit ton of weed like the bouncers outside.
Some Tim Hortons. Get some Timbits.
Don't get me started on that. All right, everyone, be right back. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So,
I've been looking up rules, just for reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Arthur,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on with you?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Whew.
Now that they are gone, it is getting into the library, pulling out the books, refamiliarizing myself with something I haven't had to do in quite some time, which is Lords Against Scry. Something that is going to take a great deal of time and effort, and the downside of moving.
Remind me again. War against scrying. What do you need for it?
At least a Ep.3, and the expenditure of a good amount of XP. But I also like role playing this stuff out.
Oh yeah.
Is
no,
very
I
much
meant like, do you have any material that you need to get?
Oh, yeah. Depends on how you want to go about it. You want something strong or you want something quick? Strong takes time. Strong takes silver.
That's the thing, is what does Arthur think?
Strong. So
I figured.
it is going to be finding a place that he can get pure silver wire.
Pure silver wire.
You find supports within the walls. And at the joining points on the load-bearing beams, you wrap silver. And then comes the sigil gripping. But you need to have the silver first.
And, well, I mean, Arthur, you have several venues to procure silver wires. I mean, depends just on how
Amazon's
legal
great.
you... Well, there's that too, but Amazon's going to take a while to get here. At least, at least a day or two.
Yeah.
Alex might have some. Mind you, of other thaumaturges.
Oh, yeah, no, I could go pester Valois, but I do not necessarily need to know him knowing the kind of wards I'm using.
Mm-hmm. And it would be a little... I mean, I, as a storyteller, would be very interested to see a Tsimichi going to a Tremere and ask,
yeah,
can you do me a solid?
I'd rather eat my own foot.
It's okay, you can regrow it.
Yeah, but still. There's not enough barbecue sauce on Earth. But yeah, no, this is pure silver wire cutting the sigils, which also means I need to get a ritual knife. Proper one.
Because you're from Florida, would that barbecue for your foot, would that be like a vinegar based, or would it be, like more Texas style?
It depends on where you are in Florida and how old you are.
Oh.
In this case, it would be a mix of a mustard and tomato base.
Oh, nice. I just needed to know.
I don't suppose you've carried a ritual knife from Florida to here. Maybe you... Well, depends.
No.
You could have. No?
There are certain things that you do not transport. Because resonance is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this place has its own resonance. So to get a knife that's going to work on this property, I need something that's been made locally. carving a sigil with a ritual implement from someplace else, that is a compromise certain things can take advantage of.
That might be a little harder to find. Like the more you're going through your list of material.
Oh, I'm gonna have to commission this. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And now all of a sudden I'm thinking, so what are the art programs locally? What college can I patronize and all of a sudden find myself an adept student that I can make a strange request of in exchange for cash?
Depends what you need, because I think some of you. We have.
I need somebody who is either on an anthropology track, in which case I'm looking for someone who knows flint knapping and work with stone, or I need somebody who is an artist that also has a good little bit of knowledge of metallurgy. Because you don't use bone. That's a bad idea.
How much do you know Flory?
I know enough not to go poking.
But do you know the type of people that surround her, or that she surrounds herself with?
I know some of them, but also as a defense personally, and also defense for her and hers. I do not get friendly or knowing unless she tells me otherwise.
No, it's just... You might have someone who would be able to carve runes for cash.
Oh, Flory would have mentioned her to Artie.
Okay.
Well, I've got two actually from yours.
I need to be the one that carves it because
Oh, okay.
Both of the two that you're thinking of, Flory would have mentioned Artie. One, as y'all get a load of this is gonna be great. You come watch this with me. And then the conversation would change to they're responsible. You can trust them for certain purchases if you need them. But which of the second? Who's the second one you were thinking?
Monica, the archivist at the museum.
Oh yeah, Monica.
Because
definitely.
of her, because Monica, she has knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not necessarily of blood sorcery, but I mean, that she's into the occult, and so it wouldn't seem too far-fetched a request.
Yeah.
But then again, she doesn't do
Tally. Yeah. Tally Artie would Flory would have mentioned Artie because she travels and would have been like, she finds things, she would be a possible source for your information. Monica's only attached to the civilian ID, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
So she might not have mentioned Monica. Talathia is Aroma. I would have mentioned her because she works the fairs.
But otherwise, you might be able to find someone.
Yeah, I'm looking at somebody who metallurgy track, familiar with certain forms of metals. Or if they can find somebody nearby that is a blacksmith who wouldn't mind making something cold iron, I will pay the premium. That would also.
I mean, just look at your advantages.
Lots of nails.
Where is this?
Does Montreal have some kind of like Ren Fairy crafter types? Because you could probably get silver wire from them, like jewelers, that kind of a thing.
So we have jewelries.
The thing is, it's
our
pure.
Okay.
That's the issue. You want as pure silver as possible.
But they talk to each other, like the various places, the various like boutiques. They talk to each other, and like if one doesn't have it, they can probably find someone else who does. Doesn't mean that you're not going to pay an exorbitant amount for it. Not that it really matters for you.
Yeah, feeding on the 1% for decades has its bonuses.
See, you've got a big enough herd that perhaps someone in there could know.
I'd rather not tap them. One of the rules of the dragon. The herd is for feeding, not for business.
Then how do you plan to go about in procuring this? I wonder.
Again, I have enough money, not necessarily cash in, but I have money that it's more along the lines of, okay, so what are the local college's arts programs? All right, contact the department. How would you like an endowment? I am a rich eccentric. I want to meet your local town.
That could be arranged. A little harder to do it at night, though.
Rich eccentric.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's just, the window for them to answer. It would just take longer because of your cycle of wakefulness.
Again,
you've got.
I sunburn really easy. Oh
yeah, I'm not even gonna ask you for a roll because you can just throw money at it until it works. So what I'm gonna do. Okay. Can you roll as many dice as you've got resources?
Okay.
And you regardless of the result, unless maybe you have like a messy crit or whatever, you'll get it. You will find someone, some local talent who sort of a budding blacksmith, someone who might have a passion for high fantasy role play and just ended up wanting to transfer that into something tangible.
Difficulty?
Difficulty, technically it would be difficulty 5. The reason behind this is if you roll, for each success you roll, I'll lower the time it'll take to get this person.
3 of 5.
So it'll take you about 3 days or 3 nights. You will start setting things up. You will not get the knife in 3 nights, but you'll be able to meet with them and they'll be able to give you, like, to show you, let's call it a prototype. And then if you like it, if it's up to your specs, then they'll just craft it and that'll just take a day for them.
All right.
Let me just note that down.
Because that's going to take some time. Because first, there's a number of places that are going to need this treatment. Step 1's the Haven. Step 2 needs to possibly convince Lucky and Flory that this is a necessity for their domiciles. Silvio's most certainly. The Green. And then whatever other places I can get my claws into, because honestly, the more space I can rob her ever-washing eye, the better.
Well, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but the ritual knife can be reused
Yes.
as often as you need to.
As long as I'm in Montreal, that piece of kit, all good. You want something that has been made locally. If you can resource the materials locally, even better. but it's not an absolute necessity. It just makes it stronger. Same goes for any other materials. But in order to futz with scrying, you want pure soul. It has all the things that you need, and then needing to get a lot of nails. If I can find somebody who can make cold iron ones, that means less nails, but cold iron is a pain in the ass to make.
Yeah, you doubt that the person you found would be able to. Like, he might enthusiastically try, give it like an honest try. But you're old enough to know that someone like him, it's probably going to be above his level, above his capabilities.
Again, nails are relatively simple. It's just the effort that is a pain in the butt, because you're not working with high temps. I know far too much about Fortune. You're dealing with low temps and lots of strikes. It is not something that people like doing, and if you want proper cold iron, it means you're not using machines. Otherwise, the magic of it goes bye-bye. So you are looking at heating and striking with normal mortal tools and muscle power. That is a slow process. But you can get decent iron nails just straight up because you need something that rusts. Because that lets you know somebody has done something.
Well, I mean, if you're just looking for standard nails, you can find. I mean, Arthur's pickup truck.
Yeah, like
did we say you had a pickup truck with a toolkit? Yeah, that's it.
Lucky's pickup, but yeah, no, I can see about just getting some locally sourced iron nails. It's not going to be too bad, but it is also a matter of putting them in the right places, which are also a bit conspicuous because it's not me tearing walls and wrapping silver. No, the nails, you put that on pieces of furniture, ones that you do not sleep on. Do not do that. But ones that are about the house that do not have a mirrored surface, you can put them on like nightstands, things of that nature. And then that lets you know if someone has breached because it will rust quickly.
You're fairly certain you can get all of this. Well, I mean, for at least one location within a week. You can't help but think that there's this, like, throughout the night as you're getting your books out and delving back into your old life, pre-Montreal life. There's like this nagging feeling that Val might already have at least one claw in the island already. It feels so weird that she would have let you be by yourself, surrounded by other vampires, have a chance to make connections, and not already have something in the works for you. It might just be you. It might just be you imagining things. But there's this.
It's not paranoid when they are out to get you.
That's it.
So now we go into one of my newer nasty habits. So now we go and we actually get into the bedroom of where Arthur sleeps, and we pull a curtain. And the entire wall is corkboard.
Okay.
All right, let's get the scrap paper. Because I need to be able to see this.
Oh my god. Okay. You need an entire wall.
Mm-hmm. It allows me to keep track of things. And not have it in the digital format that somebody can hijack.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a reason there's a curtain there, so not everyone sees this. They might
But
have
at the same
questions.
time, I doubt you invite a lot of people in your bedroom.
No,
Just in case.
that is a rarity. But yeah, no, we pull back and I take out the old photo.
The one that has quite a few number of thumbtack holes in it.
Mm-hmm. And in the center of the board sits Val.
And I think with this decisive stab of your cork board with the pin that has her face on it now, or that holds her photograph, we cut immediately to Florian Lucky arriving at St. Lo.
Maybe parking somewhere where the vehicle is not so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can have parked before we jump cut to you.
Yeah.
By the way,
Just somewhere
interesting
where it's not
fact.
all up there.
Yeah, interesting fact about St. Lawrence CJEP. Aside from this is where I went, it's a church.
What does that mean? You mean like metaphorically?
No,
like it's like the where everyone goes to worship sports. For
no,
example?
there's an actual church. We had drama classes in it. And the rest of it is this old how'd you call that? It's not a monastery, but it was a seminar. Seminary. Yeah, not a seminar.
Where they trained
Jesus.
priests.
Yeah.
Where they trained
So
priests.
it used to be an old, I think it was Jesuit seminary.
Okay,
so
it's
it's
at
got.
least the building's going to be pretty.
Oh, it is. Well, unless they've demolished it, it's very pretty. It's very uninviting to vampires. But there's a neat little sign when you approach the CJEP that shows you where all the different departments are. Liberal arts is all in those old buildings.
Yeah.
Yes, Crit Twitch, there was great acoustics. And parts of it that we weren't allowed to go in, and we would still go in. There were a lot of renditions of Phantom of the Opera in that room.
Look, I'm still having feelings they announced the closing of the Phantom.
Ooh.
After all this time.
Liberal arts is in there. Science is in this just ugly gray cube. Brutalist architecture, And sports is in the back. Actually, oddly enough, sports and half of acting. Yeah, so they needed rooms. And this one is a fairly more modern building, but it's all aluminum. It just looks like a giant hangar.
Oh.
Sort of. Oh, maybe like a warehouse more than a hangar. But anyway, you get the gist of it. It's functional, but not necessarily pretty. And there are other buildings on campus, but if you're walking on the sidewalk by the CJEP, that's what you would see. Because there are other arrows that point to other, there was one for psychology and philosophy is another place, but it's not visible. Again, they have dorms, just like at the other place. Again, same thing, a couple of windows open, a couple of people chatting. No big parties at St. Lo. Most of the big parties are on the quad during the day with hippies.
Simon went to a hippie school. Go ahead.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Simon used to be a radio DJ for the hippie school.
Nice.
I had a radio show and everything. Like,
Nice.
I got to annoy a lot of people over lunch break. Every week, sorry. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
You can see it in the distance.
Head that
Complex
way.
is there.
Yeah.
And the door's propped open.
Mhm.
There's a brick down on the ground. Just holds one of the door open. And you notice there's right above the door, there's this security system. It's a motion detector with floodlights. And you can see that the case has been busted in.
Yeah.
Um,
Where's their vehicle?
well, kind of like in Hunsick, there's a few vehicles parked, kids, dorms and all that. But
I'm looking for one that might bear the marks of a Hunsick athlete. Sticker.
Yeah.
ones.
yeah, well, there's one that's half parked on the lawn. One of the doors is open. The engine is still running.
Ooh, Floria's gonna take the keys.
It's
out of that.
by the way, it's a Honda Civic.
Nice.
It's got the little tail, the spoiler in the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Floria's gonna do two things because now she's feeling insulted. Her profession is feeling insulted, so she's gonna take the keys and then she's gonna flip them and she's gonna key the wheel and pop one of those wheels because there's no way you're using a freaking Honda Civic as a getaway car.
Kids is all they can afford.
You could at least get a Supra for the amount of money you spent on a Civic.
It's used, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Oh, by the way, yeah, let's just add this to it. The spoiler's not the same color as the car.
Of course not. Of course not. Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
And I mean,
Uh-uh.
Flory, since you went into the car, you got the key out. You notice that the light for the trunk is open, is on.
Okay. So
Though when
she's-
you just pass by the car, like you don't really see it, so
But
it's
it's
probably
just
just yeah.
So what she did is, and she pulled the keys, and she's keeping the keys, and she used their keys to pop their wheel, and then she's going to use the key to flip the trunk open. She's not touching anything because you said the door was open to the car, so she didn't have to open the door. She didn't touch
No,
the door.
no. They left a door open, and if you lift the trunk with the key, the trunk is mostly empty. What is very interesting though is this big duffel bag. It's black. It's got Adidas on it in white lettering with the logo.
Does it smell like a horrible?
It smells like a
Gym's
locker
bag?
room. Someone said yesterday, it smells like hot vinegar.
Oh, I'm going to put on my work gloves. Just going to put on my work gloves.
She's like, looks at it.
Lucky comes over.
She's going to take the bag. Look, I have standards. This is not going in my car. But it'd be such a shame if they couldn't find it. And she's going to negligently just chuck it. But she's not really going to pay a lot of attention to whether she's using human or vampire. So where it lands, she's not 100% caring.
You just want to throw it
Yeah, kind of.
farther away.
Ideally, maybe towards like a roof or something. Or boxwoods.
I could tell boxwoods.
The hedgerow that they put in front of all of those buildings.
Oh.
The evergreen hedgerow.
Yeah,
Or
because I can tell you that where you are,
Yeah.
the lowest roof would require a lot of strength, like, or a roll, or potence. I picture it in my mind, but the Jesuit school is like very, very. It's more than 6 stories high.
Yeah. Okay.
But-
So she's just checking it.
But
away,
whatever,
so,
yeah, you just chug it in like a bush of
I just know where it goes.
which
I
there
just
are
know where it
many.
goes, just in case.
Or if you like, you could also just walk a little farther, chug it over the fence, and it lands in the cemetery.
No, Flory doesn't do that. Flory does not
Okay.
upset the dead.
Or also, that seems like that would be too much care.
Effort. Yeah.
Effort, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but look, I'm not giving you the best ideas all the time. I'm just giving you ideas.
Yeah, I understand. It's fine. That's why I said no. Flory's gonna chuck it into a bunch of boxwoods. It's fine. And she's gonna walk to the door, and as
Lucky
she
follows.
approaches, as she approaches the door and sees the really bad amateur job to get around the motion detector, she just sighs and kicks the rock out of the door that was holding it open. Like, she's gonna catch the door, but she's gonna catch it with like her forearm and like not her hand. She's gonna catch it with her forearm and kick the rock away and go like, I hate amateurs.
When
Ducks, gloves,
when you do so, the two of you can spy a flashlight beam just going up and down very quickly from. So inside, when you come in, it does like an L. It's basically like an L hallway with. There's a room in the far back on your left. There's the like security nurse office right on your left as you come in. And then at the end of the hall, you can either go down a flight of stairs and then go to the basement, or you keep on the main floor, which will bring